Welcome to Tech Topics brought to you by CyberVenger. We help keep small businesses stay protected and compliant with cutting-edge cybersecurity and IT solutions.
Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Andy. I'm the managing consultant for CyberVenger. Today we're doing another deep dive into the controls of the NIST 800-171 standard. Today's control is 3.1.20. And that control states simply that you need to verify, control, and limit the use of external systems. Kind of vague languaging, so I figured this would be a nice video for everyone trying to figure out exactly what that means. Well, it's talking basically about any external system, but particularly cloud computing and things like software as a service. So really good example we're going to get into is Office 365. If you've got your mail hosted in the cloud, that needs to be stored and managed according to the parameters of NIST 800-171. In order for you to comply, the service using has to comply. Now, Microsoft released a special 365 product called GCC High, and that's the one you need to be using to be NIST compatible. They follow all protocols that NIST requires so that you can say that you are as well. They certify that they are. Microsoft takes on a little bit of liability there. Microsoft is really putting a lot of effort into making sure that they can accommodate folks that are serving in the Department of Defense supply chain. And I think it's very important. So the GCC High, of course, is a higher expense. It's more expensive. It can qualify for holding CUI and other similar information. So you can use that if you're emailing back and forth with other folks that have CUI, as long as you're following the other steps in terms of identifying who has it and where it's going and make sure only authorized people see it. But in terms of at least using that tool is valid for use for managing CUI, as long as it follows your other standards as well in that process. Any other service comes into mind, though, as well. So you could be using Amazon Web Services or Azure or other systems, and you have to become aware of where that data is physically being stored. It needs to be onshore in the United States. It needs to be stored with the proper encryption standards, namely AES 256. We've talked about that before. Another standard that's kind of your go-to. Really anything FIPS approved, but that's the one everybody uses. Transferring data back and forth, same thing, has to be encrypted. You have to lock it down for who can get to it. You have to make sure that even though it's public available, that it's protected by a firewall, that firewall's logging is being stored and accessed, and that there's intruder detection systems, and all the different standards that apply to your internal network and apply to systems that you're hosting on your own network all have to apply to the infrastructure as a service system, right? Also, software as a service, same things. You can't use a software program that doesn't follow the same NIST standards that you do unless there's no CUI in it. You can go ahead and use Dropbox or Google Storage or Playing 365 without the GCC High or Google Workspace or anything, if you can prove to yourself, to auditors, that you're not putting any CUI there, or there's no real danger of CUI ending up there. But if you're going to use that external system, you got to make sure that it complies with NIST. And that's what this standard is talking about. So all those things that we do in the rest of the standards, namely making sure we know who is accessing the data so we can have an audit trail. We can control, of course, permissions. We don't let people have access to it unless there's a justification for it. Just because you're part of the company, just because you're passed a background check doesn't mean that you should be accessing the data if you don't directly need it for your job, only if you need it. That one's all about minimizing attack surface. Right? Nothing's perfect, but you can continually minimize the number of places where compromise could happen. That makes it easier to manage and reduces your odds. Also, managing your logging, proper alerting, being able to apply policies, to apply different standards, that sort of thing. And that can be difficult because the whole point of cloud is that you don't see what's going on. Hence the terminology cloud. It's kind of cloudy. It's fuzzy. It's over there. I didn't have to think about it. Right? That's the point. That's precisely what's so challenging and why they wanted to limit that kind of thing to where you specifically need it and to where you have some kind of control over it or a partner that's willing to step up and say, hey, we understand NIST 800-171. We're going to meet those standards and we're going to commit that we're going to do that. Somebody like Microsoft, through their GCC High program, that product offering that does that. And you need to make sure that your other vendors have something similar. You got to talk to them. You got to get it in writing saying, yes, we're aware of NIST 800-171. We're going to follow all these controls with our data that in our services that you use. We're going to log, we're going to track, we're going to apply policies, we're going to limit, and all that sort of thing. So that's, I guess this one addresses that just because it's not yours doesn't mean it's not your problem, right? So now you're responsible for how clean somebody else's house is. Not an enviable place to be. So you kind of want to avoid that. Just if you look down here, this is the standard in full detail. Of course, you can get this directly from the website. It talks, as we've been saying, it talks about who has access. Talks about the systems externally must be restricted the same way, same kind of thing as you do internally. You could look at the exact verbiage there, but it's basically all the things we talk about. And then also down here, if we look, this is Microsoft's GCC High standard, or our product offering, I should say. So you can get a little more information about how that all works. If you are using mail at all, even if you have a mail encryption tool, and if you're using Office at all to transfer CUI back and forth, and it's a lot of places don't. I've seen, just kind of in the wild, I've seen companies send, RFPs and things like that, and requests for bids and all that stuff, and with substantially, detailed information, just straight over plain text email. And they're asking those same people will ask their downstream partners, "Oh, yeah, are you NIST 800-171 compliant? Did you fill out do you have your SSP published with SPURS?" And here they are sending you stuff in plain text. And like, are you are you certified? Did you read the standard? It's just an observation I've had. I thought that would share that it really is, the ecosystem's really trying to play catch up with the standard right now. So if you're not even close, you should get moving right away, because it's coming and everybody's eyes are on it because they know that people are not complying like they should be. But also don't be too discouraged if you're not there. You've got a little time to ramp up. It's an attainable goal. Don't panic. But these kind of software, SaaS programs can help you. So that's all I got with this one. I'll bring another video up when we have that, and I will talk to you all then. Hope you have a great time. My name is Andy. Have a good one.
Thanks for watching. We hope this video has provided valuable information to you. Be sure to share this video with other small business owners to spread the word about the importance of cybersecurity. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you want more information about cybersecurity, visit us at www.cybervenger.com.